So in the first part, we learned how to create a dust overlay on the leaf. Then we learned how to adjust the dust albedo using a albedo texture for the dust, or using just a color for the dust. Then we have a static switch parameter here, which you can use to adjust to select if you need dust or not. I mean, select a dust albedo or not. Then this is a dust generator, and all of them are plugged into the base color. Then we learned how to adjust the dust roughness, because the dust was looking too glossy, and we used a simple parameter to adjust the roughness. So that was the first part. So in the second part, we will learn how to go to the next level by adding by changing the leaf tint by just changing color, or by using a custom mask to change the tint. Custom mask means like you'll be using a black and white image, or you can call a grayscale image, to control which part of the leaf you need to change color. Also, we'll be learning how to create multiple color variations. Like when I copy paste this instance, and if I turn off the dust on it, so what will happen is, like, these two are exactly the same color. So if I have multiple instances of the same plant in my level, it will look very repetitive, because there's no color variation. So we will learn how to bring that into effect. Then we'll learn how to create a dirt effect from the ground up. Because dust was falling from the top. This is like, we can control how much dirt you want to blend from the ground up. We can even use a custom mask to create that blend. Okay, let's go into it now. So first of all, this is master material. I'll be keeping another master material which I already created, just for reference, so it'll be easier to do it. So the master materials, I'll use this one. So this is a material I used to create the ground dirt and the color variation. That's pretty much in this, but the rest we have to do it all by ourselves. So first of all, we learn how to do a tint for a leaf tint. So where is my albedo? So this is a leaf albedo, right? So here we need to connect this leaf output to a node, to a vector 3. So it's like constant vector vector 3. So which has all the controls for changing colors. So the default color, I'll use white and give it a name, convert a parameter, leaf tint, and I'll group this under a new group called leaf tint control, and give this number 1 sorting, under sorting priority. So that will be the color of the leaf. To adjust the color of the leaf, now I will connect this to a multiply node, which you can actually use to control how much color I need to change. So press M and left click, multiply. So this output has to be multiplied with the RGB channels of the of leaf tint to get a change in tint. So that is how you control it. But I need to add one more thing before this. I need to have a choice to change the color or not. So here also I'm going to use a static switch parameter. So right click, static switch parameter. So what this does is this will give me a choice if I need to use if I need to change the leaf tint or not. So I'll just leaf tint, then I'll add a question mark to it. So if it is true, it will go through this output. If it is false, it will go directly to the texture. So leaf tint yes means it'll come after this question. Then if it is false, it will go straight to the texture. So that is the albedo texture. So this leaf tint question, I'll move it to leaf tint controls and give it number 1 as a priority, and leaf tint we can move to number 2. So this will come as a first, this will come as a second, and connect this to both the dust controls, because we need to have the tint variation before dust, because dust falls on top of the leaf, so this tint has to be before it. So output to here for the first lerp that comes from dust color, and the second one goes to the control where it says no dust. So if you don't have dust, it'll be the straight albedo after changing the tint if you want to change. So like there'll be two like there are like 3 static switch parameters. Like one is here, do you want dust, do you want an albedo texture for the dust? Second one is, do you want dust? Third one is, do you want a leaf tint? So all these questions have to be answered to get to the final result. So I will save this master material, and when you go to the scene and open the instance, I'll keep it outside the tab so you can see it in real time. So I have this controls here, leaf tint controls. Leaf tint, do you want leaf tint? Give it yes. Now the leaf will be changing in color. So right now it is not, because it is white. White multiplied by a color means it'll be the same color. There won't be any change. So I'm going to give yes here, and when I change color here, you will see that leaf will be changing in tint. So like I can actually choose any color I want, but the limitation is that it is multiplying. That means whatever color you choose here, it will get multiplied with the tint value. So if I choose a kind of a blue, so now it is green multiplied by blue. So it's like this is like the leaf color is getting more greenish, and here it is like getting more yellowish, more reddish, like that. So you can adjust to whatever tint you want. So right now I'll keep it a little bit closer to green. Give OK and save it, and I will minimize it. So that is how you adjust the tint. Now the problem is that the tint is applied everywhere on the leaf. Now if I go to debug view, so go into buffer visualization, base color, and if I change the instance color here, leaf tint, watch carefully on the leaf. The entire leaf is changing color. There is no place in the leaf that is not changing. So when I go to red, you can actually see it very clearly. Now the whole leaf is now turned red, right? There is no place that is not red. It's affecting everywhere. So I don't want this to happen. So I want this to affect only a certain portion of the leaf, which we can manually mask out. So how do you do that? So for that, I have to go to the texture source. So we'll go back to lit. So the texture source is substance. So I'll open substance here, and this is the texture. So final texture for the leaf. You can see I have 3 leaves, and this is the roots that is behind the plant. So go into Unreal, you can see the roots are right behind it. Wait, just turn off the distance field. getting dark. This will be ambient occlusion. Turn it off. This one too. Turn it off. So when I go behind the plant, I can see the roots going down. So that's the root. That like though those are all just alpha cards. Now go into substance designer, and so that's the leaf. So what I want to do is I want to change the tint only on this part of the leaf, not on the vine. So middle portion of the leaf like this, I want to keep it intact without any color change, but just have the color change only on the flat surface of the leaf. This can change depending on what kind of texture you're making. If you're making it for a big tree, you'll have to approach it in a different way. I will show that in a different tutorial, how to change leaf tint on a big tree. So here we are focusing on this small plant. So there's a node in Substance called color match. So I've already used it here. I'll show you what that means. So using color match, go to color match node. So this actually this is a base color coming from a mix of 3 different textures, 3 or 4. So this is the first one, first leaf. Then this is a second leaf, slightly different. This is the mix of the dead leaves, not dead, fully dead, but they are like they have brown parts more than green. And I manually cut it out, and this is the roots. So all of them are blended into a material blend, multi-material blend, and I get the output here, base color. So I'm getting the base color into color match. So what this color match does is we can select a certain color and create a mask out of it. So this is very this is really useful if you want to select a certain color range. It is just like color range in Photoshop. So you can actually pick the color. So select the color match node, and source color mode, change the average to parameter. Now zoom in and pick the color which you want to change. So I'll pick the green here. So use this pick color picker and the green. So the moment you pick, it'll change that color, like wherever you have that kind of green, into a mask. So now we are going to refine this mask because I don't want to select this part of the leaf, only the flat part of the leaf. So under target, I will change this color to a white. So like it'll be much more easier to select, and scroll down, and there's a hue range. So bring this down, hue range. So I'm going to select only a small portion of the leaf. So this leaf is now almost selected. So this leaf is good. Here I'm selecting only the leaf part and not the vine. And I still can see some colors are getting removed from the mask. So I can actually change the luminosity of this mask by adjusting the luma range. So I adjust the luma range. I can increase it or decrease it. So in this case, I don't have much difference. That's okay. Also, the mask is very sharp, so increase the blur little bit. Increase it like slightly, so I get a very smooth transition between the green and the not so green part. Also, you can reduce the hue range further. So now it's the 8.18. So I'm going to type maybe around 5. So I get more. I know I'll just keep it like 8. 8 is good. Okay, now you got a color match mask. So you have a color output plus you have a mask. So this is what we want. We want this black and white image. We'll be exporting this into into a channel packed channel. So I will use this in the metallicity, because we don't have metallicity for vegetation. So Unreal, I can just use a black for vegetation and use this as a metal slot for channel packing. And this levels is just for, like, if you want to adjust something like the mask brightness or increase the levels, you can use it. So go to levels node and connect this mask output to levels. So there you go, you got a mask. It's almost the same as the other one, so I'll use this one instead of the other one because I like it this better. So connect this to, I'll remove these two. Now for the channel packing, this is very easy. So this is what is going as an ORM texture. So ORM texture has all three channels, like I go to red, this is ambient occlusion for the leaf. Then green is roughness for the leaf, and blue is metallicity. So instead of metallicity, we are going to use this mask. So this actually channel packed into this RGB channel and export it. I'm going to save the texture for output. So I'm just saving the ORM because I don't need the other two. There's no change to it. Now go into Unreal and under textures, update the ORM. Right click and re-input. So you got it. Now what I'm going to do is double click on this. I will show you what I mean by the channel packing. So right now this is our red channel is ambient occlusion, green channel is the roughness, and blue channel is the mask we just created. So this is a custom mask. So I can use this mask to control the leaf tint. So you can close this. You don't have to make any change to it. So how will I add that to our master material? So this is the albedo. Keep albedo here, and this is the color tint. So this says like if you want a tint or not. Okay. So for the leaf tint, I'll keep it here. So if it is true, it will add the color tint to it. If it is false, it'll directly go to the output. So you will see the texture. So I want to add this custom mask before this, before where we connect this leaf tint into the static switch parameter. So here I need a linear interpolate. The linear interpolate, just as I explained last in part 1 of this tutorial. Like lerp is actually a kind of similar to blend node in Substance, where you use a grayscale image as alpha, and wherever there is white, it will show B, and wherever there is black, it will show A. So it's an inverted form of blend. So here what I need is I need a texture. I need the texture that is coming from the ORM channels. So move this ORM here. Currently the metallicity is not connected. So I think I already connected the metallicity into a black. So this is a constant vector. So it is, so when you give 0, it is black. That is perfectly fine. And for the lerp, I need to use this as alpha. So we have the metallicity as a mask as a custom mask. So drag it into alpha of this, and for the leaf tint, we are going to drag this multiply into here, into B, and we are going to drag the texture into here. So now what happens is using this custom alpha, we are going to show this color wherever there is a white, and wherever there is black, it will just show this texture, base texture, and connect this to true. So that is the tint control using a custom texture. We just group this into leaf tint and save it. Now when you go to the level and open the instance, you can see there is a new control for leaf tint. So you're giving leaf tint as yes, right? So giving yes, and when you change the color, I'll show exactly what I mean. So go into buffer visualization base color. Now it changes leaf tint to red. Now you can see that the color is changing only for the places where we masked. So like it's not changing the entire leaf. It's only focusing on certain part of the parts of the leaf. Now when you go into lit mode, you can see the color is changing just for that portion of the leaf. This might look a bit weird because the color I use is red. So I'm going to use the green here, or kind of yellowish tone, or perfect green. So now when I don't have a color, you can see. So moving to white, so you can see that this part of the leaf looks like it is by default, whatever you exported. Now when I change the color of the leaf, it's only changing the flat side of the leaf and not the vines. So that's what I mean by custom mask. So this is very easy to make. You just need a node in Designer to set this up. So once you've done this, you can even adjust the brightness of the color. I mean, how dark or how bright you want, without changing the actual albedo, and you can actually play around with it to get to whatever color you want. Even you can actually make this as an instance and change the leaf tint manually. If you have about 10 copies of the same kind of plant, you can have 10 different instances, but that's a bit expensive. But one way to do that is to change the color. So we'll be coming to it without creating multiple materials. We can use the same material, but create different color variations for the same static mesh instances. So I just save this. I'll minimize this, and let's go to the next part. That is, so we learned how to use a simple tint control, advanced tint control using custom leaf mask. Then we will see how to create a color variation on vegetation instances. So this is pretty interesting feature for Unreal. So what I mean by different colors is, when I'm creating an instance of this plant, like I'm actually making multiple copies, all of these look the same. There is no difference whatsoever. All of these instances are looking exactly the same. So how will I make color variations to it? Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go into our master material and create a node called Speedtree color variation. Speedtree color variation. So Speedtree has a lot of controls here. Like this will be the Speedtree bin, which we'll be using later on. One of these is Speedtree color variation. So let's look at what we have here. So this is the base color. V3 is vector 3 that has the 3 RGB channels that comes from the texture. Then we have an amount. So amount is how much variation you want, based on a vector parameter. Then the result goes to directly to the, we can connect that to the dust controls. So Speedtree color variation. So how will we do this? Let's give some space here. I need a constant vector. So I'm just pressing one left click, convert to parameter, and I will see color variation amount. It's a bit long term, but that's okay. So I'll keep the default as 0, because if I don't need any color variation, I can just keep it as 0. And I'll create a new group called color variation and give it priority 1. Connect this to amount, and I will directly start from this. So after we give the leaf a tint, then we can have a color variation. So connect this to base color, and the output should go to, one should go to this first lerp, and second one should go to false. So now what happens is, so this is a albedo for the leaf. It goes through a leaf tint where we are specifying a mask that is coming from the metallicity in a lerp, and we have a static switch that gives if you want leaf tint or not. If you say yes, it goes through, like if you say yes or no, like both will go through a Speedtree color variation node, which will change colors for each instance. Like it doesn't matter if we add a tint or not. Even if we add a tint or not, it will go through this color variation. So I'll give it a group name, like color variation, and connect that to the albedo output and save this. Now let's go and see in the map what change that made. So right now I don't see any color variation, but that is because in the instance we had to specify how much variation you need. So open this color, open the instance, and under color variation controls, I'm going to give it 1. Now when I give it 1, it changes like crazy. So you can see the color is like going from full green to some kind of pink to white to again same green to some kind of desaturated green. So it is actually moving from the same color. It is not changing anything, just the variation. The variation is now very intense. So reduce this color variation amount to maybe 0.1. You can see that a effect is like very mild now. Not very mild, but you can actually see the changes in the color. Now what I'm going to do is I'll keep it like really low, maybe a 0.01. 0.01 is too low, maybe 0.05. You can still see it, but there is slight color change. 0.05 is again too high. 0.025 should be good. Yeah, that makes it much better. Now when I move an instance in the world, you can see the color is like changing, but it's not too much or too low. Now it is not as repetitive as before. You can see a nice blend of a color variation. It'll apply to the same to this one too. So when I make a copy, so if I just keep dragging it, I can see the color is changing. So that gives a nice color variation. Now the other issue is the color is changing on the entire plant. I mean, for the entire leaf. I need to control where that color is going to be changed. So we can use the same technique we learned for changing the tint of the leaf using a custom mask. So we'll do that here. Minimize this, save it and minimize. Here what we'll do is So under color variation, I'm going to bring this through a lerp. So in lerp, linear interpolate, I'll use the same mask which we used for this tint control, coming from the metallicity. Use a mask here, and so using the mask, I need to get this output on B. So wherever there is white, it will show the color variation. Wherever there is black, it will show the default tinted color. Then connect this to lerp A and this to here. Box. And let's save this and check it out in the viewport. The viewport, now you can see the color is actually changing only for the actual leaf part. It is not affecting this vine. So if you look at here, this is a little bit of whitish color. I mean, white tint. You can see it very clearly now how it is changing. Now, when I move the plant, see it's only changing where the mask is white. I'll go to lit, buffer vegetation, base color. You will see it pretty clearly now. Now it's changing only the unmasked areas. So masked areas are like not getting affected. So that is the main use of using a custom mask for your color change. So we have so albedo is going through a tint control where we are specifying if you want a leaf tint or not, and is using a custom mask we made in Substance Designer, and that is being plugged into a lerp alpha, and that is again plugged into a Speedtree color variation, which has control on how much color variation amount we need. That again goes through a lerp, which uses the same alpha which we created in Substance for the custom leaf mask. Then those two go into dust. So let's see how they can affect the dust. So in this case, open the instance, and I'm going to specify that we need dust. So dust control is here. So I'm going to give yes, and it's going to calculate. Now yes, now we have color variation and we have dust. If you look at these two, you can see the albedo is slightly different, but it has the same amount of dust, right? So this albedo is a bit more saturated. This one has a slightly different color, but everything has the same kind of dust. Well, let's turn off this dust, or yeah, let's turn off the dust, and it's gone. Now it's only the leaf color. So that is how you make a leaf material with tint, color variation, and a custom mask. See what is next. So next part is how to create a simple ground dirt using tint. So what's a ground dirt? So ground dirt is a dirt that is coming from the ground. Now what we did is a dust effect that has dust falling from the top. Now what we need to create is a dirt that has a blending from the bottom up. So the main feature of this dirt pass is that it is based on height from the terrain. So right now I haven't figured out a way to keep the dirt locally, but this will apply to every vegetation using the same material on a global basis. So what I mean is the height will be the same for all the instances. If you want a different dirt height, you'll have to create another metal instance and change the height accordingly. That's only drawback. So let's see how to create it. Okay, now we will learn how to create the ground dirt. So for the ground dirt, we want something that can specify where the dirt is coming from, right? So here, when I move the plant up, there is no change to the amount of yeah. So for the ground dirt, we need something to specify where the dirt is coming from. So for that, we need to know the position of this static geometry. So by position means like if I move this plant up, now the position has moved along the z-axis. So if I bring the plant up, or when I move it down, the position has really moved down along z-axis. So first of all, we need to get this location of the plant where it is along the z-axis. So it doesn't matter along x or y, but we need to know how tall or where the position is in respect to its z-axis. So for that, we can use a node called absolute world position. So how do you get it? Absolute, or just type world position. So it's called world position coordinate. Just with this one, we cannot do anything. So it is an input data. So we need to input this into something. So what is that something? So we need to blend this into, I mean, maybe I should blend this with a height parameter. So a height parameter, by height parameter, I mean how high you want the dirt to be. So that multiplied by the location of this, or the position of this in respect to world. So what I mean that by that is use a constant vector, right click, convert to parameter, and this one will be dirt height. So right now we will just leave it as 0, because 0 means like when I multiply this with absolute world position, I can output as 0. So dirt height, if it is 0, I can output as 0. So press M, multiply these two, absolute world position and dirt height constant into multiply. Now we need to tell Unreal to look at only along one axis. So right now it is getting data on all three axes, like X, Y, and Z. We only need Z. So we need a component mask. Using component mask, we can tell Unreal to just look at B, blue. So R is X, G is Y, and B is Z. So just check B, blue, and connect this output from multiply to mask. So right now what's happening is, based on the position of the static mesh, based on absolute world position, it is multiplying a constant value we call dirt height, and we are selecting only, so for the multiply we have three values, X, Y, and Z. So for X value, Y value, and Z value, and we have to filter out only the Z value, because we are only concerned about the height. We don't need to worry about X and Y, because that is not the main factor for deciding ground dirt. So out of this component mask, now we have to invert it. So right now what happens is, like, when I use this mask on this plant, the mask will be inverted. I'll show you that first, then we will use an invert. Now I have to clamp this value between 0 and 1. So you say saturate node to clamp the value between 0 and 1. And after this, I'm going to connect this to a vector 3. So press 3 on the keyboard and left click, and we can use this as like a dirt color. Right click, convert to parameter, ground dirt tint or tinted color, whatever. So I'll use this. I'll put this on a group called ground dirt. Right now we don't have it, so ground dirt, and this one should be 2, and dirt height, I can move this to ground dirt and give it priority 1. So this will be shown first, and we will get this ground dirt second. So this value has to be give it as white for now, because it'll be easy to test in the viewport. Then after this, I'm going to connect this into a linear interpolate. So why should we need a lerp here? Because the lerp is actually a kind of blend, linear interpolate, and use this as alpha. So wherever there is white from this, you will see the ground dirt color, that is B, and wherever there is black, you will see the original texture. So we'll move this into here, somewhere around here, and I'll so this is albedo. Albedo goes to leaf tint, then color variation. So from this, I need to connect to ground dirt, and this one will go back into these two. Connect from here to one here, and the second goes to here. Now let's save it, and let's check what's happening. Right now you don't see anything. The reason being, dirt height is 0. So the dirt is based on how high the dirt has to go. So go into meter instance right here. So ground dirt height turned on, and give it a value, right, 1. So right now it is like it's affecting the entire plant. Okay, so adjust this dirt height, bring it down, so it is working, but the only problem is the contrast. So it is now spreading out more than what we need. So I go into master material, and I need to have a contrast node between saturate and the lerp alpha here. Now I'll just use a cheap contrast, connect this to in, and use a constant vector for contrast value. So right now I'll just leave it as 0. Change this group to ground dirt. Number I'm not concerned about right now. Connect to output, then connect this to alpha. Now save it. Now go into the map and open the material instance, and we have a contrast amount, grounded contrast, increase it. So now we are slowly seeing that effect coming up. So there is ground dirt, but now it is very low. Now I adjust the height 0.003, 0.015. Okay. Now the dirt is like coming from the top down. So we don't want that to happen. We want this to go from the ground up, right? So save this instance, minimize it. We are going to the master material. Now we need to make a small change for this ground dirt. This has to be inverted. So that invert actually comes between the saturate node and this mask. So component mask, now it is selecting only Z. After this, just type 1 minus and connect this 1 minus node from here to here and then here to here. Now that will fix it. Now you save it. Now we go back into our level. You can see the mask is now inverted. And this is exactly what we want. We want this mask to go from ground up. So the only issue right now I'm facing is that the amount of dirt height is too sensitive. So this if I reduce that to 0.002, it works. But this is like a very small number. I need to increase this to make it much more easier to control. For that, what I can do is in here, after dirt height, connect this to a power node. Or we can just we'll try connecting the power node here. Just type power. It's actually a node that multiplies this whatever value coming out of it with an exponent. So the exponent is 2 by default. We can change it. I will try connecting this between component mask and this 1 minus. So we had to try it out. If it works, then it's good. Try saving it. It might work, it might not. I need to check it. Now let me go an instance and 1 and 0.1 so 0.5. No, it doesn't work that way. So I need to connect this to here basically. So power node get output from the dirt height. Exponent is 2. Connect that output to B and that should work. Now save it. Now dirt height is like if I use 0.1, 5. Now I can actually put more bigger values to get that same control. Now what I can do is I can change the exponent to maybe 3 and see how that can change it. And use 0.1, 0.5, 0.25, 6. And one is coming like 0.2, yeah, 0.18, 0.11. It is still small, but it's not as small as before. So this is much more easier to control. So maybe like 0.15 or 0.14, no, 0.14. Okay, we'll keep it as 0.14 for now, and increase the amount of, reduce the amount of contrast. So contrast is now 3.4, maybe like a 2, or make it like 1. Now it has like, is giving that very smooth blend. So the only issue, as I was talking before, is this height is based on world position. So when I move this object up, the dirt is going down actually. So the dirt has a fixed height. You can adjust that in contrast and dirt height, but it'll affect all the instances the same way. So wherever the object is placed, the dirt height is the same. That is only drawback for this method, because it's based on world position. That's the mask. Now we can actually define a color to it, just like we did before. It is the same method. So I'll just clean this up slightly. It's a bit complicated. Okay, we'll move this here. Move this here. Dust generator, and this is we move this roughness down. Move all of these down slightly, and I can actually give this a name. Make it more compact. So ground dirt, cheap contrast mode here, saturate. So I can actually make it more compact. I can save some space. And comment it. This is ground dirt. You save it. Now we can actually specify the ground dirt color. So in the instance, we have ground dirt color tint. Change that to whatever color you want. Like maybe I want to make it like really reddish mud. Slightly. We also use this to get that dried up effect under the plant. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is the ground dirt color. Okay, now let's learn about how to add wind in Unreal. It is a really fun factor to add wind, because we have two types of winds, wind effects you can do. One is the wind which was generated from Speedtree. So what I mean by wind is, like, if you go to the Speedtree model, so this is the Swiss cheese plant which I made in Speedtree. I will explain how to do this in a different tutorial. But for this tutorial purpose, I'm not going to explain all the steps I did in Speedtree. So rather, I'll go and explain how to do a wind animation. Basically, what you do is, under this property panel here, there's a wind wizard. So open that, and Speedtree generates all the vertex information needed, which has to be exported to Unreal to process. The main thing is to choose a sample model which closely resembles your tree or plant or whatever. So it's a trial and error process. It may not work first time. So export it from Speedtree, bring it into Unreal, test the wind. If it works, then go for it. So I cannot say use this and you will get a good wind. It is not like that. So in this example, I will just try out what we can do with this. So I'm going to use a fern. So if you open this panel here, you get a lot of presets, like a shade tree, tall pine tree, ornamental tree, palm, then a bush. So just like smaller plants like grass, fern, like that. And you can specify which part of the plant will move. So in my case, I got like leaves and roots. So for the roots, what I'm going to do is, because I actually named the leaf generators here properly, so that I will know which part of the plant to move and which part I don't want to move. So roots will not move in wind. So like they'll be attached to the walls or whatever surfaces. So roots are like whatever you see behind here. So they will not move with the wind like these ones. But they had to be attached with plus the stem. Right now the stem is a part of trunk. By default, the trunk will not move unless it has a bone. Right now I don't have bones in the scene, so I don't want the trunk to move, so that is perfectly fine. So now go to the property panel, then choose wind wizard, and just turn this off. So for the roots, turn off change it as stationary object. Here's a stationary object. So all of these are stationary because I don't want this to move. And just hit OK, and see if you can see an animation in Speedtree. Don't worry about this movement because it won't be the same in Unreal. So now save the mesh and just go to File, Export to Game, and export to wherever you have this folder set up for Unreal. So inside Unreal, when you import the mesh, you already have the wind animation baked into it if it is a Speedtree model. So we will come to, I will show you how to do it on a static mesh that was exported from 3ds Max in the next few minutes. So let's see how to activate the wind on this. So right now there is no wind. So for wind to get activated, what you need is, first of all, you need a wind generator. So I have, for some reason, I kept everything here on this side. Sorry about that. So this is called the wind direction source. So how do you get it? You can get it directly from place actors and just type wind. And this is the one, wind directional source. Just drag and drop it into the viewport. And under the controls, details panel, you can adjust all these settings: wind strength, speed, minimum gust, maximum gust. So this is like how how frequent this wind has to affect the plant. Then like I'm not going to change any of these. I'll just keep this as default settings for my scene because it will affect everything. Now the main part is to go into the master material and create the wind effect. So go to master material. Right now we don't have anything for wind, so wind is actually connected to world position offset. So that is what makes the animation happen. So for that, I'm going to bring in a node called Speedtree. Just Speedtree node, type Speedtree, and you get it here. So this one has all the controls for generating a wind in your scene. So connect this to world position offset, and you need to tweak something here. So geometry type. So right now we have leaves as exported from Speedtree. We are going to choose leaf here. Wind type is we are going to use best plus. So best plus is a bit expensive for games that are going to run on maybe PlayStation 4 or in the older generation consoles, it's best to choose something lower. But I think for a newer version like PlayStation 5 or Xbox One, you could choose this best plus. Then LOD type is like when the vegetation moves in wind. Do you want this LODs to be popping, or you want to be smooth? So smooth blending will actually make it look like it is fading off. So in my opinion, it's good to use pop. So keep those settings there, and let's save this. And let's check it out in the viewport. Now there is movement that we exported from Speedtree. So you will have to check which one works best. Some of these animations may not work for you. Some of them might work. So it's a trial and error. So in Unreal, I got this nice leaf movement. I can control how much the leaves will move based on the wind actor for this here. You bring it out here. And based on the settings, I send for this, I can control the amount of wind. So here, right now the wind strength is 0.1. If I make it like 1 and increase the speed to again 1, I can make the leaves move like really rapidly, like that. So find out something like that can fit your needs, and you can assign whatever values you want here. I'll just revert it back. So that is a default wind I had. That is like very soft and slow. Now we will see how to tweak values based on vertex paint. So this material supports two types of wind for our master material. Right now we have a Speedtree wind, which can only be controlled using this wind actor, that is wind directional source. So what if you make the plant in 3ds Max or Maya or Blender? How will you adjust it? So let's see how we can do that. So inside Max, I imported this plant as an FBX from Speedtree, and just gave it some materials, all the textures, just like we did for Unreal. It's just a PBR material. I'm not going to explain how I did this, but it is just two textures. This texture is for the leaf, and this is for the bark, and I have just a color for the stems, and all of these are output to a multi-sub material and exported into Unreal. So for exporting, I used a script which I got from script spot. It's called Ben's custom batch exporter. You can actually use this to export multiple objects in your scene at once. So about this is like, so on script spot, if you go to this specific channel, you can find the exporter. So how do you export it? So before that, I need to assign vertex paint. So go into modify panel, type vertex paint modifier, load it up. So we are going to paint with 3 colors on this. I'll use red as the places which won't move, like the stem. I'll use green for the main leaves, and I'll use blue for maybe a different part of the leaf. So first I'm going to choose red. So now the green is 255, so just choose the red and bring it up all the way up to 255 and just fill it. So now the whole mesh is filled with red. Nothing is going to move. So I can specify which part of the leaf will move based on the color. Now I'm going to paint some green on it. Bring the red all the way back to 0, green all the way back to 1, and give OK. And use a brush to paint. You can specify how big the brush you want to be. So the size is now 0.1 and make it 1. That's good. Now just paint with green. Now we will start painting with blue color. We have defined red as places that don't move. Green is the leaves that are moving. You can actually fine tune it, but right now I'm just doing a test, so it doesn't matter much. So what I'll do is I'll give blue for the bottom leaves that are mostly dried up. So for the blue, I'm going to use a brush and just paint it. You have to find the vertex. So you can go into wireframe and just paint like that. Just find the vertex and just paint it. Okay, so let's try this from this stage. Now I'm going to collapse this vertex paint and let's do an export. Select the mesh with all the vertex color information on. When you're collapsing the stack, I'll just undo it. So when you collapse the stack, right click and either collapse all or collapse two. You can even leave it uncollapsed, but never delete the modifier, because if you delete it, the vertex information will be lost. So what I usually do is as a safety precaution, I just collapse two and then use this for the export. For exporting, first select the geometry with all the vertex colors on. Then choose this Ben's custom batch exporter. So I don't have any other assets, just one plant. And I'll be exporting this to my project folder. You can actually specify the location. And the format is FBX. Now just export selection. Solid access, then override that file. Then I'm going to export as a mesh. Now just import this geometry into Unreal. So I'll import this into a folder here. I think I already have a version I did yesterday, so I'm deleting it. So import into the specific folder. So that is the one. So Swiss cheese plant, export from Max. Open it. So here you need to turn off this import textures and just give do not create material, because we'll be using our materials which we already created. Then import. The geometry is imported. Now open this in the asset editor called geometry editor, or you can call it geometry editor. Then we need to change some settings. So under search for import. So under import, by default, Unreal ignores the custom vertex paint information. So it says vertex color import option is ignored. So just change that to replace. So whatever we import from external software, that will override whatever we have in the viewport. I mean, whatever we have in Unreal, and just save it. Now just re-import base mesh with replace, save. Now we'll change the material. Now, so the first material is like is for the leaf. So we will choose veg underscore. So we are going to use underscore 3. So there's a problem with it. The reason it is not showing, I will explain in a few seconds. For the second one, it is the stem. So again, veg underscore. I'll use this stem IMAT. I have the colors here. Then again, veg underscore bark. This is a bark, I think. Yeah, that's a bark. So we have bark, we have the stem material applied, everything is there, but the leaves have disappeared. I think there is some bug in Unreal that turns the leaves off when there is a Speedtree animation information, and there's a vertex paint information that was taken from 3ds Max or Blender or whatever. I only tested this with Max, so I'm not sure about what will happen if you import from Maya or Blender. So that's an easy fix. We can do that in a few steps. So I just drag this plant into the viewport. So sadly, our plant has no leaves. So I'll just rotate it for 90 degrees and just move it to where it is supposed to be, maybe here. Also, I will just turn off distance field diamond occlusion. Search distance field, turn it off, so that I can get a nice, clean look. Now save. Now I'm going to save everything, and then we'll modify the material. Now for the material instance, I'm going to make a duplicate, because this one is using Speedtree animation, and I want this one just to use custom vertex animation. So under materials, we will duplicate this one, duplicate, and give it a name like 04 IMAT. Save it. So under this material, I'll open it here, and we will just turn off the Speedtree wind animation. The problem here is we don't have an option to turn that off. So we will create it in a few minutes. First of all, let's assign this new material to the mesh. So select the mesh in the viewport, go to details panel, and change this material to underscore 04 IMAT. That's one we just created. Still, the leaves are not there. For that, we need to fix it. Now going into the content browser, under materials, we are going to master materials, and we are going to change something in this wedge leaf 3. So I'm going to choose this ft underscore wedge leaf 3 mmat. That stands for master material. Now, if you look at this, we only have a Speedtree wind animation. So that is the problem that is causing the leaves to disappear. So for some reason, Unreal, I don't know if it is a bug, but it doesn't support the specific mix, Speedtree wind and a vertex animation that was created in a third-party software. So how can we fix it? So first of all, we need something to plug into this world position offset. For that, I will use a simple grass wind node. So this is a material function. If you double click this, it'll open this material function that has a very complex graph inside. I'm not going to explain it what it has, but that creates a simple wind animation which can be used to control control meshes using vertex paint. So we have about 4 controls here. So we can control wind intensity, then we can control wind weight, wind speed, and additional world position offset. So we won't be using this. We'll be using these 3. So we need constant vector, 3 of them. So just press 1 on the keyboard and left click, 1, 2, 3. So select all of them, right click, convert to parameter. I'm going to give names to it. So give the same name what you find here. So intensity. Then for this one, it is weight. And the third one is speed. And I think I already created groups. So group, I already have wind controls. You can type it here and create new one. Wind control intensity I can keep as 1. Weight, wind controls I can keep as 2. And for speed, I can use 3 as priority. We will keep them as 0 for now, default a default value, because we'll be changing it in the material instance. So connect this to intensity, weight, and speed. We also need a constant vector with 0 for additional world position offset. Otherwise, it will give an error. So just use a constant node and connect it here. Now we need to combine these two. So we need to specify if we are using Speedtree wind or we want to use a simple grass wind. So for that, I'm going to use a static switch parameter. So in this, I'll type Speedtree wind. It's a question mark. So this I can use wind controls and give it a priority 1. So I need to change the priorities here. So this can be 2, this can be 3, and this can be 4. So if it is true, like we are asking, do you want to use Speedtree wind? If it is true, connect this to true. If it is false, connect the vertex paint here. Then we are going to connect the output to world position offset. Now save the material. And go into viewport. Now all the plants are using the same vertex paint animation. If we can see, it is kind of wavy, but it's working. So whatever vertex paint information we painted in Max is coming through. So this one is using Speedtree vertex paint, but it's using the same vertex paint material. So we need to change something on these. So for this plant, I will go into details, and it's using wedge leaf underscore 3 IMAT. So open that. So this is wedge 3. This is the first material we made. And in this, when I go down, use Speedtree wind. I'm going to give yes and save it. So this one is using Speedtree wind, and this one is using vertex animation. So the one thing you notice is that once I turn off the Speedtree wind, the leaves have appeared. So before there were no leaves, for some reason it was not showing. Maybe it's a bug, maybe it is something else. I'm not sure what caused it, but now it's good. Now this plant is using Speedtree wind animation, which was exported from Speedtree, and this using vertex paint. So now we'll go and tweak the values. Now underscore 04. So this plant. Let me make it a little bit bigger, and when you scroll down, you have intensity and everything. For some reason, it is giving these values by default. Maybe I created it earlier. That's the reason. So we put 0, weight 0, and speed 0. Now it is fully turned off. So I don't have anything here, any wind. Now I'm just going to intensity is like 0.1. Now weight is like, I'm going to give 0.1 for everything, and speed is like 0.5. You can see it's like it is moving very slowly. Ending is density 0.5. I can see the leaves are like moving really well, but it is not the way I actually painted in Max, because the leaves of the whole leaf is moving. I don't have any control on whether it is red, green, or blue, right? So next step is like we will see how we can control that aspect of the three channels. Now going to master material, and before we connect this to this switch, we need to add the vertex information. So how do we add the vertex information? So there's a node called vertex paint or vertex color inside Unreal. So use the vertex color node, and this has all the channels. So there's an RGB channel, and separate R, G, and B. So we can actually specify which color we need to control. So first I'm going to use, I'm going to create 3 constant vectors for each color. So you use 1 and left click and rename them as the first one goes to red. I just name it as the color, red, green, and blue. So you just group it as win controls. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there should be 5. Priority 5. There should be priority 6. And there should be priority 7. Now I need to use some logic. So how will I use these to control the output? Now I can use multiply or add. So the problem with multiply is when there is a vertex paint information, like if I have only red channel, if I multiply that red channel with 0, the output will be 0. So I cannot do that. So I need to make sure that the output comes as numbers, and I mean as values other than 0. So first I need to first I need to combine these using certain nodes. So use multiply initially to combine this colors with the constant vectors. So red goes to A and B, then another multiply that goes to green. So now we're actually specifying the values of the constant vector. Another multiply to for blue. Okay, so we connected all 3. So we have multiply nodes and constant vectors. Now we need to connect these into 3 different channels. So now we have red going into this multiply, green going into this multiply, and blue going into the third multiply. Now we need to add them. So logic works like this. So if I only painted red and the green and blue are 0, what will happen to the output? Now if I use a multiply, if I multiply this red with green, what will happen is red has 1, red comes out as 1, green comes out as 0, right? So 0 multiplied by 1 is 0. So whatever color I give here, whatever value I give, the output will always be 0 if anything else is 0. So all of them have to be 1, 0.2 or 0.5. I mean a fraction or a number greater than 0. If it is 0 or less than 0, it won't work. So I need to use an add. So right click, add, it's in math, add. I'm going to add these two. So first I'm going to add red and green. Then I'm going to add plus A and left click, add this one output and blue. So now the logic has changed. Now suppose if only red is 1 and if green and blue are 0, what will happen is when it comes to multiply, here it is 1, here it is 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So we always get 1 as an output. Then blue is 0. Then 1 plus 0 is 1. So that is the logic behind this vertex color node. Now we need to multiply this with whatever we have here. No, I think you don't need to multiply. You can just directly connect this add to the oh wait, sorry. So multiply this one with the vertex color node and connect this to false. So now what happens is, like, Unreal will take all the information from the vertex color based on 3 different channels and connect that into the false, because if you don't need Speedtree wind, you can directly take information from this simple grass wind, add it with vertex color information and output that into the world position offset. Now let's try and check it out. Now our material is like not moving at all. I'll move this plant slightly up because some of the leaves are clipping to the ground. Okay, now go to material instance. So this is the one we need to tweak, underscore 04. Now if you watch closely, you can see the different channels which are moving. So we have under this wind controls, we have red, green and blue. So in max we painted red for the leaf backside. Okay, so Unreal, what we'll do is we just give red as 1. Now the moment I give 1, this part of the leaf is moving because that is red. So now we can selectively tell Unreal which part of the leaf or which part of the mesh we need to move. So that is red. Now give red 0. Now green give 1. Now the tip of the leaf is moving. That is where we applied green color, right? I can increase the intensity or try weight 0.5. So now the leaves are more obvious, the movement. We will try blue as well. So keep red and yellow and green 0, and for blue I'm going to give 1. So you can see the bottom leaves are only moving because everything else is red and green. So basically that is how you control which part of the leaf you want to move based on a vertex color. We even have a mix of all these. So keep red as 0 because we want to keep the back of the leaf as fixed, that is not moving from the stem. And the green I'm going to give I'll give 1 for the green, and blue is like 0.5 as a leaf at the bottom, moving slightly, but more movement is for the top leaf. I can even give about 0.6 for the green part. So that is how you control a leaf animation using vertex paint. So this one is using Speedtree wind. This one is using manually created vertex colors inside 3ds Max. So just to clean this up, I'll use a comment for this, just to group them. There's wind controls. And save it. Yeah, that is pretty much it for the wind.